Okay, so I'm Grasswalker. Hello and welcome to this vlog. It's been a long, long time since I've done a vlog. I don't know why. I guess just in general, I don't feel like I have much to say. I would also like to start off with an apology. I haven't uploaded in a week. It's been a bit shaky. I like to set the goal of 2 videos a week. I've kept to it. Like, I haven't failed that goal, but like it's been hairy. I usually prefer to have a backlog of things that are scheduled to publish, and like I'll spend a weekend, I'll record 5 to 10 things, and I'll space them out over the next week or two. Recently it's been a lot of like, right now I'm recording this, it's going to get uploaded today, and then I'm going to record stuff after this and then schedule them for tomorrow or something like that. It's been a lot of like at the deadline, stressy, last minute pushing out the videos, and I feel like that's a bit disappointing for myself because I want to put good stuff out. I want to try hard and do well at this rather than just like feel like I'm just trying to force a deadline. But my excuse for this particular week, which has been bad, is that I've moved house. There's not going to be a tour for a while because this place is in fucking shambles. But if I lift up the camera, lovely, I can show you just the emptiness of this room. I've got a nice table that we bought from a seconds return furniture store. Basically, someone wanted it, they bought it, it was delivered to their house, and then like they looked at it, they're like, there's a dent on it, I don't want this, take it back. And the store's not allowed to sell it anymore because it's like not brand new, it's been unwrapped, it was delivered, it was bought. But they had to give the refund because in the UK we have good customer rights laws regarding refunds. So it gets sold to a second store, and then I bought it, and I don't care that it's got dents on it because I'm only going to cause dents to it anyway. Everything's still in boxes. I'm living out of suitcases at the minute until I unpack them into half of a wardrobe. It's just your typical English terraced house. So there's 2 bedrooms upstairs, little staircase going down. Then there's like a front bay windowy room, like a loungy room, a kitchen, and then a bathroom. And I mean, I like it. It's cute. It's got a lot of character. There's no straight lines in the house. There's no corners. Every wall is at like a weird angle. Like there's no nice 90-degree right angles. Everything's like 15 degrees here. I can actually show you that as my desk is completely straight. It's flush to the corner here, and yet there's like a massive like on the piss wall that doesn't let it fit in correctly. I got my little snack drawer. I love it. So I'll put this back down. I'm gonna stop picking you up. It's gonna give you guys motion sickness. So the reason I'm now living with my girlfriend, we've moved out of the parents' house with a wardrobe in the background. We've moved in together because we're both attending the same university. It's super cute. She's doing an undergraduate in comic art design, so she's going to be doing drawing and art stuff. I don't know much, if anything, about art, so I'm not the one to ask about that. I'm going to try and rope her into setting up a channel and we could do cute couples vlogs or something, I don't know. But I am here to do a PhD. My undergraduate degree in information management went so well, they were like, skip the masters. So I've skipped the masters and now I'm just going straight into a PhD. Apparently it's a big step up, but if you followed me for a long time, you might have seen a vlog a while back whilst I was at doing my undergraduate at university. And I've been hearing people say that the next step is the hardest step for my whole life, and I've never hit a wall like that yet. So when I was like a little kid, I was like 7 years old, I was messing around, eating dirt and like climbing trees, falling out of them, bouncing back up and whatever. And everyone would be like, you can't live this good life forever, 7-year-old child. I'm like, what is it, miserable old man? It's like, once you go to secondary school, which in the UK is from ages 11 to 16, once you go secondary school, it's no more fun, you're gonna have to try hard. And I'm like, okay, Mr. Miserable Old Man who's trying to depress a 7-year-old with reality. Turn up to secondary school and it just feels basically the same. Like, there's definitely a step, I felt the step, but it's just basically the same. And then people are like, oh, well, once you're, I think, 14 and you start doing your GCSEs, it's a big step up. You're going to struggle. You're going to have to kill all your hobbies. You're going to have no friends. You're going to have to do all your work, try really hard. And I'm like, oh, no, okay, get me worried now. Like, these exams matter. Apparently, they'll follow me for the rest of their life, which they kind of a little bit have. People still ask for those GCSE results. So, like, I stepped up to meet it, and I did the work as best I could. Like, some subjects more than others. If I didn't get along with a teacher, I'd be less likely to care about what they were saying, or if the subject appealed to me. Like, I really liked history and geography and English when I was in school. I just enjoyed them. They were just fun to me. So I tried really hard. Like, I enjoyed revising them, because watching a documentary about volcanoes is fucking awesome. And then you can remember that, and you can talk about it in the exam, and I just enjoyed that. Other subjects that I didn't really enjoy, like the sciences, basically, chemistry, biology, I didn't enjoy them, but I did what I could. I put the hours in, and they turned out okay-ish. Like, I got passing grades, just C's and B's in sciences. But, like, it didn't feel like it was this massive step up. And then people are like, oh, well, now you finish your GCSEs, you are never going to handle A levels and AS levels. Like, oh, the AS levels are impossible. You're going to have to... And they just... Like, the whole planet and everyone I know, like all my friends and the teachers, my parents, and just... Like, the internet discussion forums, they'll just all talk about, like, these next steps, just impossible. Even, like, weirdo strangers on the bus where you just make small talk because you're just on the same bus for 20 minutes. They're like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm about to start university. I'm about to do a PhD. They're like, oh, you'll never handle it. I'm like, what the fuck, man? You don't know me. It's just this constant, like, pushback that every next step is going to be impossible, and now you're going to have to, like, destroy yourself to do it. And I've been told that my whole life, from childhood to primary school to secondary school to GCSE, GCSE to AS level, AS to A level, A level to uni, first year of uni to second year. They're like, oh, first year doesn't count, you can just mess around. Second year, that's when it gets you. And then second year to third year, they're like, oh, second year's easy, actually. I forget all that stuff I said about how second year's impossible. Third year's the horrible one. Dissertation's impossible. It's like... like, I just hear this all the time from, like, everything around me, but I never feel it. I never feel that pushback. Like, I tried really hard in a lot of things that I've done, but I don't feel like I tried that hard. I don't feel like I killed myself to do it. Like, the GCSEs, I did a couple of weeks revision for the exams. That just feels par for the course. It's just what you do. A levels, AS levels, I did, again, just a couple of weeks before the exams, just getting a feel for it. Like, me and my friends came around to my house, we played Xbox, Call of Duty, and fucking Magic the Gathering all the time. We just messed around. During uni, like, I held a full-time job, my YouTube channel, and I was running D&D games and playing in D&D games and going, like, to the uni societies. Like, I was training mixed martial arts. I was going to, like, different film societies or different interest societies, like book clubs, stuff like that. I was doing all of it. It was fine. It wasn't overbearing or overwhelming or anything. And now I'm getting that same exact thing where it's like, oh, the PhD, horrific experience. You'll never handle it. Some people spend 20 years and don't finish it and give up. And I'm like, shit. Because... I always feel like maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the step that destroys me, and I don't know. If it is, it is. But all I can do is try my best and see what happens, and I'll just put that, like, vague, normal amount of effort that I put into everything and see how it goes. And if it does get really hard, I'll have to ramp it up to 110%. I mean... We'll see how it goes, but it's going to be pretty neat if it does go well, and I have 4 years to do it. I'm being paid to do it. I've got, like, a scholarship student stipend. I'm actually not just doing the PhD. I've been told by my advisors and such not to call myself a PhD student. I'm supposed to call myself a graduate teaching assistant, is the phrasing. Because I'm currently an employee of the university, Staffordshire University, and I'm supposed to do lectures and tutorials and teach other people stuff that like I only learned 2 years ago. So it's like, in one aspect it's good because I'm just recycling things that that are fresh in my mind, that I was just examined on a year and a half ago. But on the other hand, like, am I really qualified to teach this? I mean, I got a first class, I got awards and things, but am I qualified to teach people things that I only just got examined 2 years ago? Maybe. Maybe that's better because it's fresh in my mind. Maybe it's better because I have a modern, like, up-to-date knowledge of what I'm going to be teaching. Maybe it's bad because I'm not super experienced in teaching, and we'll see how poorly that goes, but who knows? What happens, but that's enough about that. If I do pass, I'm renaming the channel to Dr. Grasswalker. I'm gonna milk it for everything it was worth. I'm gonna wear a stethoscope, even though that's nothing to do with what I'm learning. I'm gonna get a proper doctor's outfit. No, I mean, we'll see what happens. In other news, well, I've got a little notes thing in the top corner. I like having my notes thing. You might see my eyes glance to it every now and then. It's roughly close to the camera. Maybe I should have put it a bit closer so it's less obvious when I'm glancing at my notes. So I introduced, I apologized, talked about the new house, talked about the PhD. So my last thing that I want to talk to you guys about, which is pretty good because we're 12 minutes in, I don't want to waste all your guys' time. It's valuable. A valuable resource is time. I want to write things. I don't know what I want to write, but I've always enjoyed writing, and I've always enjoyed creating, and I've always enjoyed managing like worlds and world building and creating of systems. And it's interesting to look back because people look back on things that are like, oh, I could have been this the whole time, and I kind of see that for a lot of things, but writing is definitely one. So when I was really young, I was in primary school, I was like 6-7 years old, we always got like tasks for different subjects, and the English task was always write a story, like write a one-page story. And I had really big, fat, hideous, hard to read handwriting, so I'd always write like 8 pages, and everyone else would be like, holy shit, look how many pages. It's probably closer to 3 if I didn't write with such giant potato left-handed idiot writing. And the teachers would always like slog through and try their best to read it. But I always enjoyed doing that. Like, I really liked doing it. It was a really fun thing for me to do as a kid. I was always reading. We had a reading system installed at our primary school where after you borrowed a book from the library, when you returned it, you had to log into a computer, you had to do a quiz about the book you just read. And it would ask you like, what's the name of the main character's girlfriend? Or what's the name of the Minotaur in the maze? And it'd be like multiple choice. So if you've read the book and you've just read it, you're about to return it, and it says, what's the name of the Minotaur? There's 4 names. You would always be like, oh yeah, it's him. Because that's to check you've actually read it. And depending on your score on the quiz, you get an amount of points, and depending on the length of the book and the genre and like how the level of the writing, whether it was for like 8-year-olds, whether it was for 10-year-olds, what level the writing was at, you get points. And I fucking destroyed that. I came 2nd place, but the guy that won it, I swear he cheated so much because he had like 5 digits of points, and 2nd place me had like 4 digits, and everyone else had like 200 points. So I think he cheated the shit out of it. But I read loads of books for that system. I just loved reading all of the fantasy series and the sci-fi series and the apocalyptic series and anything that wasn't set anything to do with Earth. I just liked it. It was just good fun. And then you move into secondary school, and for one of my subjects I chose to do, I did the extended project as an AS level type subject, which is like the highest thing you can get whilst at school, for those of you that aren't familiar with the UK system. So when you're 14 to 16, you get your GCSEs, and then when you're 16 to 18, you get your A levels, and then maybe you'll go to work, or maybe you'll go to university, or maybe you'll take a gap year out and then go university. That's what I did. And for that subject, the extended project, my project was writing a short story novella, which I've lost, which angers me a lot because I wish I still had it. And fucking Mr. Rooney, if you're watching this, which you aren't, I want that file. You've got it somewhere. It's on your email. I sent it to you. You pretended you didn't get it, but it's there somewhere. It got marked, and they said that the writing was really good. Like they marked me at like an A for the writing, but then the talking about how and why I wrote it and the choices I made, I got like a D on, so average it out to a C, which isn't that bad. It's a passing grade, so I can't complain. But I enjoyed the writing more than I enjoyed talking about the writing. It was my first like project where you talk about what you did and why, and when you're like 16, you don't think that that's very important, so I didn't try very hard on that. I was just excited to write a story a lot. And then obviously I run Dungeons and Dragons games. I've been paid to run them for a long time, like 4 or 5 years now, and I love writing the NPC bios. I love writing my notes for the pre-session. I love writing the little overviews for the session, recaps for me to read. I just like creating worlds and characters and stories within those worlds. So I want to do something with that, especially where I'm going to be writing a lot of like boring, unenjoyable PhD stuff. So I can take a break from writing that unfun stuff. I'm going to try and have fun with it, but it's not a fun thing to read criminology books and things like that. It just generally isn't. Like, academic writing is hard to read. It's not made for enjoyment, it's made for science and progress, so fair enough to it. I'm going to try my best to enjoy it, but I'm going to try and take a break from PhD writing to then do my own enjoyable fantasy writing. That's the plan, at least. I'm not sure what's going to go on with that, but I'm going to try and check in with you guys at rough intervals, maybe every 3 to 4 months or something, and talk about maybe what I've written, why I wrote it, the choices I made, how it's going, and then, I mean, it'll go where it goes. Same thing as the channel. Everything for me generally starts as a hobby, and then I see where it goes. This channel started as a hobby, and then after doing it for, I think, almost 4 years now, it's grown to a point where it's a little bit more than a hobby. Like, some of my videos get sponsored, I get paid for it. I got a little ad firm that's in charge of my ads. So it's going okay for me, but the channel's not paying the bills. Not yet anyway. If it eventually does, that'll be cool. But it's in a nice spot now where every video gets a certain amount of views, and it's generally like 20 plus. Sometimes we hit 3 digits, like every now and then. Like every 10th or every 20th video will hit 3 digits, which feels really good. And there's really nice comments that come out, and also some really harsh, mean comments, but like, you just ignore those. I've been raised on the internet. If you've got nothing good to say, in the sense that, like, constructive criticism's fine. If you're making a post, it's like, this video wasn't very good because the microphone was too loud. That's completely fair. You've said that you didn't like it, you said why you didn't like it, and there's like a subtle suggestion of make the mic quieter. There's a way for me to improve from that. If your comment is just, fuck you, there's nothing there of value, and I just don't care, and it just bounces off, and like, that's the end of it, and there's nothing there. But genuine criticism that has like a realistic foundation and something to it, I listen to and I take to heart and I work on that. And then the good comments, like the supportive, genuine, nice comments, those really help, because like people say like random hurtful shit 24/7, so the nice stuff is what like helps brush that away. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the channel, how the channel's going. I'm happy with how my life is going. I'm happy with how the PhD is going, in the sense that I started it 3 days ago and I've done nothing yet. I've just done meetings to meet the people that are in charge of helping me out. But I think it's gonna go okay. And if it doesn't go okay, this vlog series over the next 4 years will document the downward spiral of my mental and physical health as I struggle to complete a PhD and possibly fail and drop out and cry. Hopefully none of that happens, but if it does, it'll be interesting for other prospective PhD students who feel the same as me, who feel like there have been steps that have knocked other people down. Like, I know people that couldn't complete their GCSEs, struggled really hard, got straight U's across the board, dropped out, and then did something else with their life. And that's okay for them. That's okay. It's nothing wrong with struggling with things, but this series might be interesting for other people who have had the steps and just sort of cruised past them all. Like they're just like sitting there on an escalator as the stairs carry you up, and it's not that hard or bad, or it's not a struggle, it's not that stressful, it's not that terrible. And I'm sure at the time it was worse, but looking back, it wasn't that bad. Nothing so far has been that bad. I don't know whether I'm just lucky, or whether I've had a lucky break, or if I'm underselling how much work I do, because I try hard. I do my best, but I don't feel like I try as hard as some of the other people around me, or maybe they're overselling how hard they try. Like maybe they say they've been to the library for 8 hours, maybe they didn't go. Because I know I never went to the uni library. I know I never took any uni books out, or too much anxiety to go to a public place like that. So I did all my reading at home online, or I'd have it read to me with audiobooks. Maybe they're overselling it, maybe I'm underselling it, maybe both. Maybe everyone pretends they do more work than they do, and maybe I'm pretending I do less work than I do. Who knows? But we'll see how the PhD goes, we'll see how writing goes, and I'm gonna try and get some of these boxes unpacked after I record some more stuff, so I don't fail my 2 videos a week goal I set myself and have been sticking to pretty well for like the last 4 years. But thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope it was interesting. If you relate to anything I said, if you've got any remotely similar or different experiences, let me know in the comments. It's always interesting to see what's going on with you guys and your lives. Give me a little update in the comments. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.